Officer, please, do I look like the kind of sick, twisted individual who would feed home invaders to his pet rats? Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, hoping that you are having a great day, and in today's video, I'd like to sit back in my non-squeaky chair, relax, and have a little conversation with you guys, celebrating the 31st anniversary of a dead trading card game. That's right, in today's video, we are talking about Heresy. Finally, I think I have mentioned this card game on the channel before as one of the curiosities of the 90s. You know, that Wild West time of trading card games when everything was basically a Magic clone or trying to take market space away from Magic the Gathering. Heresy leaned more towards the former. It is an interesting, how to even describe it, futuristic, cyberpunk, post-apocalyptic angels versus demons card game. It was released by a company called Last Unicorn Games in 1995, I believe. And yeah, this is one of the more, it definitely stands out. It's definitely a unique card game. Let's say that, one of the most unique ones I've ever taken a peek at. And for one reason, and one reason alone, this is a card from Heresy. You might notice something about it right off the bat. It's a bit long, isn't it? That's right, they went with a pretty unique and standout card design, all things considered. It's tarot-sized, which is very interesting. The basic concept of the game with the lore premise, you know, the thing that a lot of people will get into their games for, is that the boundaries between heaven, earth, and cyberspace, called the Matrix in this game, it's broken down. So fallen angels are running around on Earth fighting with demons, trying to get control over the internet so that they can ascend back to heaven. All the while, the regular people of Earth are getting caught up in all this crazy nonsense with secret governments, cyborgs, demons, angels, and all that stuff running around. It's a really crazy and dark, futuristic, again, post-apocalyptic game. It does take place in the future, but it does use, again, a lot of like biblical imagery and characters and such, which is kind of cool. As for the gameplay itself, it is, I've only played like maybe 3 games of it, but the rulebook, which funnily enough is the same dimensions as a card, long rulebook, pretty fun stuff. The rules do a fairly good job of explaining what you're supposed to do and how the game itself plays, but the game itself is fairly complicated with a bunch of attachments. It's fairly complex, but the basics are that you're trying to accrue enough Tau points. Yes, a game called Heresy has you trying to accumulate Tau points. I know how that must sound to all the 40k fans in the audience. And with those Tau points, you basically win because that allows you to ascend to heaven. Besides that, the rest of the gameplay is similar to a lot of 90s card games in that it's basically using Magic the Gathering as the basis. Mana here is called Aura. You use it to summon your creatures to fight your opponent. Creatures can attack, they have power, they have health, they can get upgrades, and they can be destroyed. The big difference here is that your lands are not just lands, they are where you store your Tau points. The zones are where you store your Tau points, and they can be attacked and they can be destroyed, which is very different from Magic the Gathering. Or I suppose not so different, since they keep doing creature land concepts. Besides that, the game has a lot of really cool art. Like, there's a lot of really cool dystopian, cyberpunky themes to this game. You can just kind of tell by looking at any of the cards. It has this like really dark, almost gloomy, post-apocalyptic look to most of the card design. And a lot of really cool artists contributed to the game. Carl Waller, Tim Bradstreet, I think. William O'Connor, I think, was in a few of the cards too. But my personal favorite of the bunch is Richard Kane Ferguson, who is a standout artist from Magic the Gathering, but he did a few pieces of art for the game in the very first set, which is really great. And all of these artists, who some of them have really, really standout styles, they all really contributed to giving this game a really eerie, grimdark feel, and really making it stand out as one of the darker TCGs of the 90s. And to dive back to the gameplay itself a bit, once you understand the game, I think it is very fun to play. Like I said, I played a few games of it, and once I got the hang of it, I did find myself having fun. But I will say that even when you do have a hang of the game, even when you do really understand what you're doing, it's definitely a hard card game to sell. I mean, back in the 90s, when it first came out, it got some high praise from game reviewers. There was definitely people who were interested in collecting it, but it completely failed to take off. And there's a few reasons for that. The big one I attribute, of course, is the fact that the basic game rules are kind of complicated. It's hard to show, it's hard to really share, but this is a pretty thick rule book with some really small font. Like, I'm an older guy, so like you can imagine me squinting at the rule book to try and get a feel for what exactly I'm supposed to do here. But like, it's every page is loads and loads of really small text, and there's like, hang on, 58 pages of rules, including a whole glossary and index. There's a lot of rules here. It's really complicated, and obviously not everybody is going to be super hyped up for a game that you basically have to have a law degree to understand. And of course, like I said, once you understand the rules, once you've played a few games, it's fairly fun. But beyond that, let's be honest, the real reason the card game failed is it's kind of inconvenient. Like I said, these are an inconveniently sized card. It's not the worst card design I've seen in a card game. That would be, well, probably not one of these. What is the worst basic card shape I've seen in a card game? Is it Hecatomb? It's probably Hecatomb. Hecatomb has 5-sided cards. They're really awful. You can't sleeve those at all. For these, you would need custom sleeves. Really long custom tarot-sized sleeves, which would make storing them inconvenient because you need your own deck box that has the right size, right dimensions. You'd need a special binder if you wanted to show off the Heresy cards to your friends. So it's inconvenient to play with. It's inconvenient to shuffle in sleeves. You can't collect it easily in a binder. So all around, it's a very inconvenient game to play. More than that, I'll try to show off on another card. Maybe I'll edit it into the video. But some of the card text itself is really dark. It's really hard to see, which makes actually figuring out what your card does kind of inconvenient at times, because sometimes you're just looking at your cards like, the fuck does this say? Yeah, I can say that as a joke when it comes to card games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they have like really small print. But here in Heresy, it's dark print. That blends really well into the background of the card. It makes it really hard to tell exactly what's going on. So the rules are kind of complex. The core gameplay is fine, but hard to get into. And actually playing with the cards, collecting the cards, buying the cards is inconvenient. And all of those factors combined made this a failure outright. There was only one set. There was plans for another expansion to go ahead because they thought they had something really cool here. So they were designing another set. But the first set, which is called Kingdom Come, that's the name of the set, Kingdom Come. It failed to really sell. The limited edition became the only edition, and nothing new ever came from it. I did remember hearing rumors way back in the day that there was the card files for another set was loose on the internet somewhere, but I've never looked at them. So someone will be sure to let me know if there is more of it out there. But overall, yeah, it's just a card game that failed to take off with some really cool concepts. Again, it's a game where humans and angels and demons and cyborg warriors are fighting off to try and control the fate of the universe. That's really cool, right? If only they had made the cards easier to read and of the basic standard card size. Yes, I know trying to stand out from the rest of the crowd can do a lot, but sometimes there's a reason that the card sizes are standardized, and like it or not, trying to stick out in this way does not help, which is why, to my knowledge, Last Unicorn Games is I think, no longer a company. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I don't think I've seen anything from them in a long time. I know that they did, I think, a Star Trek game after Heresy. I could be wrong on that, but I could have sworn I heard or saw that they did a Star Trek game. Correct me on that one in the comment section below. And speaking of the comment section, please like, share, subscribe. That really is all I got for you kids today. I feel like I'd be rambling if I went any longer. Leave a comment down below if you think this game is cool, if you think this game is weird, if you have tried the game. Let me know what your experiences are with it down below, and let me know if there's any other weird, wacky card games you'd like me to take a look at, because I feel like it has been a while since I've talked about dead card games, and that's kind of one of the things that I really want to do on the channel more often. So anyway, that really is all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the Discord, check out the Patreon. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you next time.